Hi, I am the Box Office Wizard, bringing you weekend box office predictions and movie review. Today's actually Tuesday. Last night, I didn't get a chance to do the video. The numbers, last time I checked, they still weren't available, and it was getting kind of late, and I had a couple other things I needed to do around the house, unfortunately, so bringing this a day late, but that's okay. Still got some movie news for you. Going to give you the actual numbers here, and movie news will actually be on Jurassic World and also on Mission Impossible. For the weekend, Sully was number one. It came in at 21.6 million. I had made a prediction of 22.1 million, so I was real close on that. It's now at 70 million in the U.S. It's going really strong. This movie will potentially even hit 100 million by next weekend after it's through. After the next weekend is done. Brian had made a prediction of 20.9 million, so he was really close there as well. Thanks for that prediction. Overall though, for the debuts, it was a bomb of a weekend. From this point on, the Wizard just did not have his mojo going on. The crystal ball is actually in the mail, getting repaired, so that we'll find out what happened. But as you'll see, Blair Witch was number two. That's who I made a prediction on to finish number one, and it only came in at 9.6 million. I had made a prediction of 23.7 million for this movie. Only had a $5 million budget. However, though, I did learn from one of my viewers that they had a $20 to $30 million advertising campaign for this movie. So obviously they have a lot to recoup overseas. There's still that potential for it to be a big hit over there. Just going to have to wait and see. They could change the marketing if they want to do any more here. Just call it the #1 horror movie right now. But I just would venture to guess that they probably pulled everything that they could just to save some money. So believe it or not, one of my viewers, Just a Guy, did come very close to that number of 9.6 million. And if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, shame on you. Check it out. He has a lot of great, does nerd block openings, box openings, a lot of weekend grabbing reviews on movies that you have never heard of. So check him out. So thanks for that prediction as well, Just a Guy. Third place, Bridget Jones, another debut. Its fans did not show up. Came in at 8.6 million. I made a prediction of 14.3 million. Actually, that movie came in pretty close to where the sequel had come in. I had looked at the number and I just thought, I think that they will actually be a little bit more interesting at this time. It didn't look like it was as cheesy as the last ones, but it's running pretty much on par with that one. However, though, the good news for it is the sequel did make 222 million overseas. So pretty much they're just going to probably make their budget here, then make their profit overseas. So Brian had made a prediction of 12.9 million on this movie, so thanks for that prediction as well. Fourth place was another debut of Snowden. Came in at 8 million. I made a prediction of 6.4, and this was one movie that did fall short of expectations. I guess last number I'd seen was about 12 million from the movie studios, but they vary a little bit and so forth, so it obviously came up short. Obviously, it was a very light weekend overall for the box office, other than for Sully. Fifth place was Don't Breathe. Another good weekend at 5.6 million. I made a prediction of 4.1, so it had a good, strong weekend. It's now at 75 million in the U.S. and 107 million total worldwide. When the Bow Breaks came in sixth, had a huge drop as expected at 5.5 million. I made a prediction, came in pretty close at 6.1 million. It's now made almost 23 million here in the U.S. $10 million budget, so it's probably getting to that point where it is starting to see a good profit with some of the advertising money and all that once they clear that. So, seventh place, Suicide Squad. Good weekend for it at 4.7 million. I made a prediction of 3.1 million. It's now at 314 in the U.S., 720 million overall worldwide. It's had a great run, and it should be winding down here at this point. Eighth place was actually, believe it or not, The Wild Side. Only had a 17% drop, so doesn't really make any sense to me. This whole weekend didn't make sense to me, but last week nobody showed up. This week they all came to see it, at least for the number it came in. So it made 2.8 million. I made a prediction of only 1.7 million. It's only made 7 million here in the U.S. now. It has made about 21 million overseas, so I don't remember seeing a budget number for it. But I venture to guess it's not very high. So, and then next is Pete's Dragon that I made a prediction on. Actually, I believe it finished 10th. Came in at 2.1 million. I made a prediction of 1.8. It's now made 113 million worldwide. So, last movie I made a prediction on was Hillsong. It was the other debut of the week. Came in actually at number 13 at 1.4 million, and my prediction was 2.2. Obviously, terrible numbers. Believe it or not, though, I actually almost finished first this week. I came in second. Box Office Mojo came in at 68.9%. Second place was myself at 67%. Third place was Box Office Profits at 66.3%. And finishing last was Box Office Pro at 63.4%. So obviously I wasn't the only expert that just said what happened this past weekend. So overall I do retain my lead at 82.15%, with Box Office Pro about a percent behind at 81.36%. Movie news, Mission Impossible 6. Tom Cruise has signed on to do Mission Impossible 6. So there was they had started pre-production in August, and the studio decided to put it on hiatus because two reasons: salary for not only Tom Cruise but also for Bad Robot Productions. They had always picked up a lot of the tail end profit for their salary, so they always got a huge chunk of money based on how much it made. Obviously, the Mission Impossible movies continue to make more money each time they come out, so they have actually settled, and production will continue if it hasn't already. And also to go along with that, Tom Cruise is currently filming the Mummy reboot as well. So, good news for him. You know, a lot of different franchises going on with not only the Mummy, Mission Impossible, Jack Reacher. So, you know, I'm a Tom Cruise fan. I don't know if you are, but I'm glad to see that he's got a lot going on right now. Next is Jurassic World. J.A. Bayona, he was actually the director for the first one. He has actually stepped down, if you didn't know, he's working on Star Wars. However, though, he did put in place with Steven Spielberg that this will be a trilogy setup, you know, which isn't very surprising. But at the same time, though, those plans are still in place as they had laid out. So definitely going to see 2, which is already in the works. And definitely we'll see a 3. You know, this isn't surprising just based on how much money that these movies do produce. So, hey, that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. If you got any comments, please leave those in the comments section below. And I'll be back on Friday giving you predictions you can count on. They're better than the weatherman. Take care.